You know, you could get a group of Bigfoot researchers, skunk ape researchers in Florida together, and they would disagree on many things, I'm sure. But one thing they would have in common, which most of them would agree with, is that these are intelligent animals. They exploit what man creates. They use the waterways, and they use the corridors that man has created. They even do something that's even infinitely more cunning than using a horse trail power line corridor. They have developed a form of communication. In a way, it's almost digital. Florida is currently a hotbed of skunk ape Bigfoot activity. This all began after the string of tropical storms that moved through the state, perhaps a decade ago. It culminated in a videotaped sighting taken just a few years ago by a group of canoeists who were out in the Lettuce Lake complex, which is just off to my left. You can rent a canoe at the gateway to the watersheds. And if you know how to navigate the water, you can come under an interstate system where the Bigfoot Field Research Organization investigated a sighting by a backpacker who got stranded and ended up sleeping literally along the side of the interstate. He had a Class B encounter. Their determination was that the encounter was real. If you follow that waterway, it will open up into the Green Swamp, into a major watershed for 3 rivers in Florida: the Withlacoochee and the Peace and the Hillsborough River. Quite a lot of water and quite a lot of land. Researchers believe in knocking as a form of communication. But a hard object, I'm using a quarter. You can hear the vibration go all the way up through this. All the way through the up to the high tension wires. Now, if you were hitting a heavier object, those strung wires could send a signal that would literally travel for miles. That's the form of communication that I'm talking about. In fact, I may have even just signaled them in some way. Even a quarter, even this quarter could send a vibration to the top. That's how tense this is. You see how smart they are? It's sort of a Bigfoot cell phone. There have been many times as a researcher just sitting by a beautiful lake, just standing there watching. Just can almost imagine if on the other side you see the skunk ape come down, you see the creature come down and get a drink of water. And you just turn your camera around and get it. We've all thought that. Just make everything a lot easier. I do hear something moving around though. Looks like it might rain a little bit. But if you're out in the wilderness, you get stranded or anything, you're gonna make a fire, try to spend the night. You find a nice long piece like this, and you find it hard to break it. Let me tell you, here's what you do. Take your knife, find a point that you want to break off, such as say about right here. Turn it. It says a round pole doesn't have 4 sides. Okay, what you've done here, folks, you've created a weak point. And now, let me show you a neat trick. There you go. Now you broke it at its weakest point when you wouldn't be able to break it before. Now, when I grew up in Mulberry, Florida, there's lots of bullfrogs. Oh, my camera aimed right at this. What you want? Oh, it's a green piece of pine like this. Nice green piece of pine. Yeah, you can see that. Get your, there you go. Alright, work the knife out of there. Yeah, what you've got, let me see here. You got four prongs. 4 prongs that are going to open up. You got you a frog gigger. You stand on the water's edge. You wait for the bullfrog. Boom! You got him. He'll be on the end of this pole. You got the firewood. Showed you how to break up. Got a way to cook them. How about that? It all goes well. Here comes the rain. This is what I was afraid of today. Gotta get my gear and put it up. Gotta protect it. Alright, got the poncho on. And it's beginning to rain a little bit. Got my gear in the backpack. I tried putting the poncho on over the backpack, I just couldn't do it. I'm sure it can be done, I just, after 5 minutes, I gave up on it. Thing is, I got a lot more to do out here. I wanted to point about the lettuce lake deal. People who are fans of Bigfoot often wonder how come people don't cooperate in this business and get along with each other. A lot of reason is because people have their own agendas. Now, what happened with the what happened with the guys that took that video at Lettuce Lake and got an actual capture was because the height of the popularity of the show Finding Bigfoot was at its zenith. And that Finding Bigfoot was filming over in the next county. And this was getting publicity all over the Huffington Post and all over the web. It had to be stopped. It had to be put under. Ree Monteith is her name. Infamy is her game. For political reasons, they went after the credibility and the character of two young men that play in rock bands and work as waiters in bars. It was terrible. You're not going to have witnesses come forward anymore, knowing that they're going to have background examinations done about them, and that if there's any skeleton in their closet, that it's going to be smeared all over the internet. Oh yeah, people are really going to come forward now with their stories. They did a very, very bad thing. Very bad.